Boom! Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I love how that rhymes. Your boy Marky Say gets up magnetized. I literally has shaped my mind, body, and soul. I walked past this morning in control of my life and in control of my mind and in control of my all of them being weird and things. And then it dawned on me, it's toxic dating. That's something that really happens. Is that the monkey right there? Oh no, say these little fucking monkeys look like the monkey was right here coming through in the morning. But let's talk about toxic dating. Let's talk about everybody waiting and anticipating the morning motivation. Boom, baby, boom. All right, so first things first, let's roll this joint. It just doesn't work. If it don't fit, you ought to quit. And there's a lot of things out there, people quitting on relationships, a lot of one night stands, a lot of monkey branching, a lot of loneliness, and it comes from this. If you're active, if you're active in the dating marketplace, right, you can call it that, and you're participating in this thing called life, what happens is we don't have that much to live. I don't know, am I gonna sneeze or what? Hold on. Can you hear my nose? When you play it back, can you hear my nose equalize? That's just crazy. But in a world full of desires and people chasing, you know, uh, quick fixes, what will happen is reality will disappear. It's kind of like when drugs wear off, sex wears off too. And if she's going to monkey branch from me to you, odds are she's going to monkey branch from you to someone else. If you are going out to dinner dates with girls that are in love with somebody else, or just using you for your time, or just using you for your money, which I've seen my friends do, you're gonna feel toxic about it. You're gonna feel like some shady shit's gone down, and you can't trust nobody. And why go on dates and why do anything anymore? Because how people are just gonna use you and abuse you and make you feel less than who you are. And that's the culture that's happening. You go from someone that you find mildly attractive, hopefully fully attractive in a bar or in public, hopefully not just online, and then all of a sudden you got to meet them in real life. And what happens is you got to come up against their childhood trauma, their dating history, and their current status. And this is a lot to swallow. It's a lot to unpack here. All right, folks. So let's just dive into it and see if this makes any sense. When you're in the 21st century, you're inundated with so much information. You can literally get someone's Instagram and just message them immediately and have contact with them, but not connection with them. And what ends up happening is, like, when you truly connect to someone, when you go to the AWA, like I went to my buddy's tree, big AWA tree, he said he can plug into it like Avatar. When you plug into someone, you get all of them, right? This isn't just like the selective data that you would normally just want. You're like, I don't want to know anything about your childhood, or, I don't want to have any kind of wild reactions with you, these kind of things, right? I just want to, can I live, just enjoy and go through the process. But it's not just about rainbows and butterflies. It's not all about enjoying. What are you going to do when the person has a panic attack? What are you going to do when the person has a different point of view? What are you going to do when the shit hits the fan and love is left long time ago, and then you're dealt to deal with something that's a little bit more than physical? Yeah, I made that rhyme. This is so important because the physical stuff's easy. Taking off your clothes and getting naked, easy. Handling somebody when they're having a panic attack, not so easy. Dealing with someone with a different point of view, not so easy. Having to deal with someone's past history, definitely not easy. You know what I mean? It's just one of these things that comes with so many levels to this shit. Like, getting laid and finding someone attractive is on the basic biology scale. On the psychological scale, on the other end of this, is finding someone that you can get along with. And we all know that we're all annoying. We all know that we all can be assholes. We all know that we all have a stick up our ass and shit in our heart, and that we all have issues, daddy issues, mommy issues, past issues, maybe still got issues. No one's coming with a blank slate, right? We're all past the high school phase. We've already probably had sex, and we've already probably had our first love. These are the easy mistakes, rookie mistakes. But if you get into the dating life, the dating zone, now you got to deal with their past mistakes, right? If they have kids, baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, are they going through a divorce? Are they mentally stable? Have they been seeing a psychologist? Have they been getting STD shots? Are they using sex as a coping mechanism? Are they using you just for your wallet or your time? This shit adds up all the time, man. And we have to go through a toxic minefield of dating, a cacophony of events that add up to people being lonely and intense, man. Everybody's all wound up tight, and they're not all right. They're not all right. They all pretend that they are because they're swallowing beers and making you feel like, they're living their blessed life. But the real measure is the things you can't buy, right? You're not going to go get a college degree on the shelf. You can get a fake copy, but you can't get a fake boyfriend. Try having somebody show up, kiss on you, and you feel comfortable with them in your skin, and do it in front of your siblings or your family. Not gonna happen. We talk about this all the time about the Valentine's package, like, just showing up with flowers, $100. If you want me to say I love you in front of the family at dinner, $500. And if you want me to go to a wedding thing, it's another thing of money. And we all like, oh, I would never pay for someone's companionship, but we do it all the time. We'll hang out with certain people, we'll be at certain bars. We want to be next to the energy. And that's what ends up happening. It's like we still seek each other biologically, but fundamentally, it's skewed. We're literally expecting somebody to fall from the sky, take us on with all our warts and all, not have any miscommunication, not have any misdirection, and it's just going to work out, right? Like, if it's the right person, it's going to work out. And what we do is we just kind of keep waiting, because this other person that didn't work out with, and they're long gone, and they ghosted us and blocked us, and there's nothing left but the burning ashes of our flames of our hearts. But then there's the other side where you're like, I want to survive. I want my genetics to survive. I want to have a family. I have to keep trying with these crazy bitches and women and life. I got to keep trying at this dating game, because there's some girls that'll. Yesterday, the Russian girl, apparently she's been living with the dude for 8 years, fucking him, kind of bossy Scorpio hoe, just wanted the attention. I mean, they could suck it all up, and I sat there and I'm thinking, well, she already got a boyfriend. This is another woman using me, and I sat there and I'm thinking to myself, why do I never have mother freaking sitting there thinking to myself, will I see you again? Oh, here we go. Would her boyfriend be happy if he was with me? If she was sitting here with me, playing patty cake, and where's her honor in the system? Is it just so she doesn't have to eat alone? And then she said, oh, I don't mind being alone, and I'll go dance on the dance floor all by myself, and I'll go home early without you. And everybody has their own plan, right? Like, at least in their mind, but they might not have a direction, because we can't choose who's coming in front of us. We don't know where we're going to be next, and who that person is going to be next, and if we hit it off, and if we connect, and if we check off all the boxes. I mean, you're going to check out the physical boxes first. Do I find this person even remotely attractive? And can I even stand them for 10 minutes to have a conversation? After I find them attractive, and after the conversation, do I find them crazy? You know what I mean? These are the things that end up adding up, and you're like, okay, am I safe enough to come home with you without you murdering me? And then after I fucked you, are you going to be murdering my mind? I mean, this is really what's happening right now. It's such a toxic environment, and doesn't seem like anybody gives a fuck, because they're all trying to survive it. We're all just trying to. We don't know who's going to come in front of us. Poor girls have to sit at the bar. It could be a weirdo, could be a tall, could be a short, could be a fat coming up to you, and you got to navigate that. And us as guys, we're going through the fucking bar, and we're going through the same tall, skinny, fat, seeing which ones going to sleep with us and hopefully not have daddy issues and hopefully not fuck up our minds or fuck up our finances and fuck up our lives. And the girls want to have safety too, and we want to assure paternity, and they want to ensure provision. And here we are trying to do this navigation and this whole coordination and this whole little dance of dating to find somebody that we can love. And what's so weird is like I found somebody that I fell in love with, and she's poly and she loves everyone else. And I'm just like, wait, what? And then she doesn't even respect me enough to return my phone calls. And last night wants to blow me up with all these psychobabble bullshit memes and contradicting herself and not making no sense. But what I really noticed about it, besides her going on her spiritual throw up, verbal vomit, is what I call it. Besides for her spiritual tantrum, it was no concern for me, right? Like, I mean, if you're in a dual relationship, there's going to be cross coordination here. There's got to be somebody that's caring about your well being and that actually wants to see you healthy. I didn't fuck with this chick's head because I was like, she really flipped out. And I mean, totally overreacted. To have a panic attack because you want to go home early is one thing, but to have a panic attack if you're missing Christmas and the flight was delayed, or you've been in the snow for 6 hours straight, or real emergency shit, not something so trivial as going home early. And the miscommunication blew up so quickly that we went from telling each other how much we loved each other, candlelight dinners, closing down the restaurant, then closed down the bar, then held hands and got back, turned into quickly, I want to go home. You're trying to control me. I'm having a panic attack. And I was like, this is way past normal regulation. We're talking like Chernobyl regulations. The reactor's overreacting. And that's what's happening. It's like we're in a toxic environment. Once it blows, toxicity is everywhere, bro. And we all know it. And what's really toxic about this is really the reason I'm doing it this morning is I thought, man, it makes me shady for my next dating experience now because the one girl just wanted to have dinner when I tried to just go have lunch with the Russian girl. So Finland girl wanted to just have dinner, but she was in love with someone else. When I go to have lunch with the Russian girl, she got a boyfriend of 8 years and they fuck. And I was just like, what? Are you allowed to even be at lunch with me? But I guess since you're in Thailand and you're having fun, you're on an adventure with me, anything goes, and if you want it, you got it, right? So I'm sitting there. Let me sit here too. I smell some good ass weed right now. Let's put this here. Let's sit in the hammock. Let's get some hammock time. It's hammock time. Go, 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 go. Can't touch this. Oh, 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 oh. Can't touch this. Yeah, this is like the toxicity that goes to the next level because now you're going to fear that the next devil or woman or person that you come to see, they say it's the devil that you don't know. Well, we're about to blow. We're about to see these devils come out of the place to be. They be showing, rearing their ugly little heads, their insecurities or their subversiveness or their plans. You know, everybody has a plan. The one girl wanted to get laid that night. She just chose up till she's Samantha from Sex in the City, and she stopped choosing him. And when you slept with a girl that fast, it make you think she'll do it again. And what you had wasn't so special, so you don't believe that things are as shiny. And that's the toxicity of it. When we get into situations, you're gonna think that the next person's just trying to get a free meal off you. If you're a girl, all the dudes want is to sleep around or sleep with you. If you're a boy, all the girls want to do is just use you. We're talking about two sides of the same coin, and we're all in the Serengeti together. We're all out here hunting. We're all out here looking, trying to find love, and it's rare air because all the other fruit have been picked, and nobody wants a low hanging fruit. But then you get not picked, and then your fruit goes rotten, and that's what makes it so toxic. Is that we getting older. This chick's 38, bro. She's gonna have geriatric pregnancy. She can't even ensure my paternity, and she's talking about how many poly relationships she has and how not all of them have sex and what kind of girl do you think I am? And I'm like, you're a poly girl. You keep telling me the word poly, 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 but I don't hear love, love, love. I don't hear you loving me. And it's like, I'm sorry, I flipped out on you, man. And that's not fair to you. And I need to get my head together. And that's how it first started off. Now it's like, you shame me for being poly, and I'll always be a proud polygamist and all these other things. And it's just like, it's all about you. And this morning I just said, it's just all about you, bro. You have no regard for me. There's no section on there filled out on the, oh, I should holler at Marky Saint. He was a really nice gentleman, and I just want to check on him. No, it goes, I got what I want out of him. I used you, and I'm on to the next. And this is like, I'm gun shy for being used. I don't want to be used. I don't want somebody to come here and use and abuse me and take my money or call me names or push me or push the door back on me and shit like that. I ain't trying to be about that life, bro. Fuck that shit. And then when you know your worth, then you overinflate your worth. Then you're a speculator. It's like, oh, this is my gold mine. You're like, but you're a speculator. You don't know if there's actual gold gonna be in there. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. You actually have to dig for it. And that's the thing that we don't want to do. We don't want to dig in the wrong mine. Nobody wants to waste time. Nobody wants to just give all this effort, dig, dig, dig for 10 years straight and know that they never get to the gold. And that's all we want. We all want to get to the gold. We all want to get to the goal. We all want love. And it's a lot, it's a landmines to get there. Dark tunnels, caves with no ends, and maybe no dividends. You know what I'm saying? It might not even pay out at all. So it's just a really tough thing in life. Like, people are doing it with gold in Alaska and Chile and for lithium and cobalt in the Congo. Everybody's digging, but they're not supposed to be digging with their hands in flip flops, making all this money off a corporation but having slave wages. It's one of the most needed elements on the planet, and they got pits full of people working at it. This is insanity, bro. This is why dating has become so toxic. It's not that everyone's narcissistic. We only have our views. We only have our pages. We only have our Instagrams. We're only worried about our lives. We have no space for somebody else. It's like a boat. Seats taken. You know what I'm saying? It's on the bus. And Forrest Gump. Seats taken. Seats taken. And that's what ends up happening. We get so gun shy and so weird and so rude that now no one knows what to do. They all got attitudes, they all got perspectives, and they got no compassion. Nobody has any compassion because they fell the way they fell from the last time. And we're so categorical creatures that we're going to categorize because it happened in the past, that we're going to assume that the next thing is going to happen in the future. And that's what we do. We put two and two together and we think it's going to be three. And that's not how math adds up. Not in relationships, not with people, not eventually. You'll see that it's algebra, dude. It's calculus. It's way harder than ABCs, one, two, threes. It's full on square roots. What's the square root of your daddy issues? What's the sum total of all your relationships? Do you see the denominator, the common denominator, as yourself? Do you see your patterns and the people that you date? And me, I tend to date broken women and think that I can fix them. When I had low self esteem, I was sleeping with single moms. Then I learned how to hunt. Then I get these bad bitches. Then they think that they're bad and their shit don't stink. And this is what ends up happening. We end up fucking, then figuring out that later the hookup culture is long and strong because our desires are still there. Our human biological desires to mate and procreate and hook up is for sure a strong desire. But love isn't enough. Sex isn't enough. Does the person care about your well being? Do they want you to have the best in life? Do they have your intentions in mind? Would they put their your well-being before theirs? And in a narcissistic world, it's all about what you got and what you have. And instead of learning from someone or growing with someone or making the mistakes with someone, people want it to be a fairy tale. They don't want to pay the price for the prize. They want the marriage, but you're not getting it at Target, young lady. and they want the kids, but they can get knocked up, but they might not get the relationship. Building a family is not an easy task, and building it off love is even harder. And a lot of people are just building on sand. They're just building off of lust instead of bust. You must take on these people. We all have warts, man. We warts and all. That's what it is. It's a richer or poorer, sickness and in health. I've never been married, so I can't quote it, but we all know that it's gonna come with something. Somebody's gonna come with like a missing parent or a divorce or a background, and it's like arresting somebody. You're gonna look at their rap sheet, and you're like, we got arrested in 2023, and then you got picked up for a DUI in 2019, and then there was that other DUI. You know what I mean? You're gonna just go down the list and go, okay, this is the amalgamation. This is the amalgamation of this person. It's just not their physical, it's their mental. And then it's their spiritual. This is what I was talking about. I want to find somebody that's on my conscious plane. And it was like, good luck, you just fucked me on the first night. I fucked you within 6 hours, and you're talking about celibacy. You're talking about polyamory, and but you're not talking about mental health. And you're only talking about you getting what you want, but you don't care if I get what I want. And that's what's so crazy is like if the inevitability of it is that you don't care what the outcome is for the other person, then it'll never build. It'll always be quicksand, and it'll always be problems and challenges. And that's why it's so toxic out there to be dating, is because motherfuckers are trying to get with people that they don't know very well. They're going off of book value. I'm sitting there telling the girl, she's like, "You want to eat alone? Eat alone." Fucking Russian chicks are so cold. And I'm like, nah, man, I read a book that says never eat alone. It's a guide for success and networking. And I showed it to her. She's like, no, it looks like a bad book. And I'm like, did you just judge a book by its cover? You didn't read this book. Didn't even open up the audiobook, and started to tell me what it was like. And I was just like, it's so snooty, so bossy, so entitled, and it was just like, man, that's all bullshit, bro. You know, we all have shit that stinks, dude. We all have dirty closets and in subconsciousness, and we all have issues, and whether and what we used to say, man, you got issues, you need to cancel your subscription. We got to cancel our subscription to our issues, man. We tend to subscribe to them too much and think that it's the other people's jobs to fix us or be a part of us, or just be this missing link. Like they're supposed to be the puzzle piece. And it's no one else's job to make yourself happy. It's no one else's job to work on your shadow work. It's no one else's job to be your puzzle piece. It's your job to be a whole piece. And once you become a whole piece, then you have a yang and a yin. You find that there is always going to be some darkness. There is going to be some light in these people, and that you hope that the person that you pick brings you more light than darkness. It's really this. Are they going to be dark free? No, bro. No, bro. There's always going to be shadow work. There's always going to be those subconscious thoughts and those dark places in all of our minds. There's always going to be some regrets and some mistakes, and there's always going to be some issues. No one's perfect, and the fact that we're flawed human beings, and that we're trying to find another flawed human being that likes us enough to tolerate us, warts and all. That's the tough part. That's why I called it mostly saints, because it's a halo and a horn. It's waiting for the weirdness to come out. Can you get weird with me? Can you get uncomfortable with me? Can you handle me at my worst moments? Can you handle my anxiety? Can you handle my social shortcomings? Can you handle my physical shortcomings? This is the first time in my life that I ever felt short. I didn't get chose because it was a taller dude. He was literally missing an arm, and he got chose over me. Sure, fair enough. He's a good looking dude and he's taller. He's gonna get chicks, but he was fucking full on missing an arm. He had a fucking iron claw, and girl still went hypergamy. I want to access the best genetics that I can get. And men are doing the same. And then once we're just done looking for subsurface book covers, then we got to fucking deal with their childhood, and then we got to deal with their attitude. This bossy, and if you want to sleep by myself, no, I stay here on the water. No, I dance by myself with the shitty music. It's like, come here, all my friends are here. My friends are DJing. It's literally 10 yards away, and she wouldn't even come. She went to the other bar, and I just see it time and time again. We're stupid, stubborn. We are expecting that we're going to keep swiping left, and someone's going to be on our spiritual plane, and someone's going to be able to handle our childhood traumas, and that people are just going to fit like a puzzle piece. Where have you been all my life? Good morning. And then doing things like that. This is where we're at. We're in a toxic minefield of people that are bumping into each other life, their tragedy. You got to deal with their shortcomings and their issues and all the things that they're not whole about. We got to come to a conclusion with. We got to come to a conclusion about. We got to go address these chapters that came before us, and hope that we can finish the rest of the chapters in the book with them. And it's not easy writing a book with somebody. It's not easy being in a business with somebody. It's not easy being in a relationship with somebody. These things take work. And if both parties aren't willing to work on it, it's like a business. It's not going to work. And in a business, it's very callous. It's like people don't mind. It's like, hey, the balance sheets went red instead of black. We're not in the green. Then what does it all mean? Then you can't be a business. The store can't stay open. You got to pay rent, and you got to have products, and you got to have marketing budgets, and employees. And if those things aren't paid, then you don't have a business. And that's just simple put. Same with dating. If you don't have attraction, it's not going to happen. If you don't have commonalities, you're for sure going to be further apart than closer. And if you aren't willing to work at it equally yoked and pull through this thing called life, through all the shit, you're going to want to choose this person. You're going to want to choose a best friend. You're going to want to choose a person that is in your corner and will stick up for you when you're not around. And that's what it is. And it's really tough. It's really toxic, messy behavior. It's the same as Chernobyl. You got to deal with all this radioactive substances, and that's what it is. It's radioactive, radioactive, radioactive. Watch them block me because I try to sing it. Anyway, it's sad, but it's true. Sad, but true. And it continues to persist because we're not meeting people organically, and we're not willing to sit in the hot seat long enough. You got to ride the bull for 8 seconds to get the belt, bro. And it's a raging bull. Each one of us is a raging bull. I know I'm a Taurus, I'm a raging bull, but each one of us is a raging bull. Each one of us is really hard to ride, and we got to expect people to come on this roller coaster ride that is us, and hopefully that they can hang on long enough, and long enough to get to know each other, and to get vulnerable, and to get after these issues. And I don't see nobody with the balls for it. They're too busy switching up, and bouncing to another island, and island hopping, and seat swapping, and I'm just not about that life. That's one of the reasons I couldn't do the strip clubs, is because they would literally get off my buddy's lap and come sit on mine. And I'm like, he's right next to me. I just watched you put a titty in his mouth, and now you're gonna go sit on me and do the same exact move. Grind the butt, put the tits in my face, dollar. Next, grind the butt, put a tit in your face, dollar. And that's how that's what it costs, man. Our attention span, our level of commitment we only got a dollar in it, man. We are pot committed. We're not committed to anything but our selfishness, and that's what's toxic. So you're ready to put someone else's well-being ahead of yours, then you're not ready for a relationship. And then that's just facts. And what sucks is we all know that we want to put it into somebody. We just got to find the right somebody to do it with. So I encourage you to keep reading your chapters and writing your next chapter. Only you can write the next chapter of your life. And I hope that you write it in with some compassion and some understanding, and knowing that not only you're gonna have to fucking love yourself to love somebody else, but you're gonna have to know yourself too and get to know someone else, and that's an investment. And everybody's digging in the gold mine, but not everybody can get to the gold, and that's just facts. So, are you willing to show up for work and have a chance? It's a gold rush. It's a love rush. You're all rushing for love, but not a lot of people are rushing to grab a shovel and do the work. That's your morning motivation, dropping knowledge bombs early this morning. Thanks to the monkeys waking me up again. Peace and love, and as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and fiendish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But comment below, bro. What do you think of this dating field? What do you think of these dating apps? How do you feel about your success rates? When's the last time you got laid or loved? You know, getting laid's nice, but I would rather have love over laid. Is that a shirt? I was going to do paid over laid, but I'd rather be laid than paid. Anyway, that's my point. The morning motivation. I'm high. I'm getting off this thing. Peace, and see you on the other side.